Hi, so today I wanted to show you guys a little glimpse into another area that we have decided to venture into. We decided to start not so much a little rabbitry, but it seems like it's turning into that. We wanted one of our kids, Lenny, he went for a while with saying that he wanted a rabbit. And so we have always taught our kids that when you want something, if there's something that you want, we're going to save our money and, until we get the amount. And so Ethan and I originally started joking that, okay, Lenny, once you save your money, thinking he would never actually be able to commit to saving his money for one, because Lenny's our spender out of our kids. Lenny's our spender. And so we just never thought that he would stick to it long enough to be able to buy a rabbit. So, but he did. And so him and Xander actually went in together and they saved their money for a rabbit and the cost for their dad to build a pen and the first bag of feed. And so here we are. And now it's turned into a little bit of a hobby and a learning lesson as we go. We've always told our children that animals are put on this earth for a purpose. And so the rabbits a few of them are intended for meat rabbits to raise and learn the process of growing our own food and taking care of our food to a point where we can turn it into food for ourselves. And so that is the purpose in some of the rabbits, and some of the other ones are adorable, and so we're just going to be breeding them and selling to cover the cost of the food. And we're teaching the kids that little lesson as well, because you have to be able to afford to upkeep things as well. So we are going to be selling they're not like specialty rabbits or anything, but the ones that are made for more so, they're designed and bred for pets and sort of things. We are going to be breeding them and selling them. And then we also have our meat rabbits as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the rabbits that we have. We currently have 6. And we are in the process of breeding a few. But we are learning as we go as well. And we are learning as we go. And so are the rabbits, because none of these rabbits, we have 2 that have actually been bred before that I had purchased off someone else. And then the other ones are all we got when they were young. And so we've had rabbits now for maybe 6 to 8 weeks. I could be wrong on that, but somewhere around that ballpark. And so the wait is over. Here is one of our cute little guys. I think his name is Finn. A couple of them have been named, but not all of them yet. So this is little Finn. He is a Holland Lop. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. He is super friendly, super nice, a sweet boy, and he was born, in July. So he will be bred with this little girl, and she is not quite used to us. Well, she is. She needs brushed really bad. Hey. She needs brushed really bad. She needs groomed, but she's usually a little more hyper. She's got a little more energy. She doesn't really like to be bothered. She's kind of her own little person there. And we have some cucumber snacks in there for them today. I try to give them something fresh in the day, but there's her. And I'm not quite sure how old she is. Here is, she has a name, but I cannot quite remember. Charlotte. This is Charlotte. Hey, girl. She's pretty lazy. I'm not going to lie. She spends the majority of her day in there. She is one of our newest rabbits, so we have not had, we have not had her very long, just a couple weeks, and so she still's getting used to us. She came from a rabbit farm, and she's, I believe, a 1.5 years old. But that's Charlotte, and she's a lion head. She's a beautiful coat, a beautiful color. So if she comes out, I'll show you guys her. But that's Charlotte. And then these two, let me show you Charlotte's man. This is Charlotte's man, and he is, we have not bred them yet. We were told when we got Charlotte that she might be pregnant, so we're unsure, and so we're just kind of waiting until we see if she is going to have babies or not. But this is also a lion head, and so we are going to be breeding the same breeds together. We're not going to be doing mixed, but he is such a sweet boy. He's getting his winter coat right now, and so his fur is coming in so thick. You know, we are going to be having, I'll show you the whole setup. He is so sweet. He does not have a name yet, but he's adorable, and he's just such a nice rabbit. And then over here we have a giant, and he is older. He's over 1 year as well too. The boys have named him Elk because he's just bigger, and he is contributing to our meat rabbit. He's the daddy of our meat rabbits. So, hi buddy. He's kind of likes his space. He doesn't really like us. He doesn't mind us like around him, but he doesn't really care to be touched or anything. And so he is going to be our meat rabbit daddy. And then over here are our mamas. Now we have tried unsuccessfully twice now to breed both of these, and we just haven't been able to make that successful yet. But they're pretty tired right now. As you can tell, they're pretty lazy. So the kids' role in these rabbits is to care for them. Ethan and I, these are Californians too, by the way. They originated for the purpose of meat rabbits. I'm going to go ahead and show you the whole setup we have. I was out here I was helping a little bit with the cleanup of the pens a little bit today, and the whole breeding process. I was out here and putting rabbits where they needed to go and that sort of thing. And so there's stuff outside of the pens right now that I need to put back in. Sorry, there's a train behind me, but this is the setup that we have for them. So we have Ethan built all these pens, and then the trays pull out to be able to clean off the bedding, and when they go to the bathroom we can just pull out those trays and clean in those. And so they all have a water, they all have a food, and they all have a bowl of hay. So there's 4 pens on this side, and we have these 2 girls together because we got them together. And then we have 4 on this side too, but the 2 top pens are empty yet because that's just for space when we get babies and that sort of thing. And so we have the 2 males down here as well. But we just actually, for right now, we just pull a tarp over the back, and then we pull a tarp over the front, and so that at night they are completely enclosed and they're completely safe at night. And so the kids' roles, they feed them, they take care of the water every day, and they keep their hay filled, and that's what their job is, you know, for throughout the day, and for the day is that's what they do. They upkeep that for me, and then from there they do some brushing and some combing. The lion's head usually need groomed, but yeah. Xander, do you want to say anything about your rabbits? Do you like having rabbits?
I like to.
Yeah. Lenny, say something about your rabbits.
They're trying to make babies this year.
Yep.
We tried last night.
Yep.
But it didn't work.
It didn't work, but we're going to keep trying. Sometimes, from what we've read, first time mommy rabbits take a couple tries in the breeding process. But we are learning again as we go, and it's been fun. It's a learning lesson, and it really helps the kids. The whole money factor is a part in it, and just caring and the responsibility of an animal. And then more learning about the meat and the processing and that sort of thing too. So this is our rabbit venture. I just wanted to share that with you guys because we shared a little clip about our chickens. So yeah, then not right now. We're gonna go, and actually we are gonna go and plant. I got some bulbs, and so we're actually gonna put this in the ground. So these are what I get. I shop from this place, and I get bulbs every year. Well, not every year, but I did this year. And so we have, Lenny, hang on, let me read the package, please. We have Dutch Iris Bronze Blend. So I have 25 of those to put in the ground. I have Iris Eye of the Tiger blend of irises. And 25 of those. I have Sapphire Beauty irises. I have more of those. I don't know how to say that word, but I remember the picture. Oh, and hyacinth plants, bulbs. And so we are going to be planting these. These are fall bulbs, so I need to be planting these right before, well, really close, or right before the first frost, because the ground's going to freeze, and then we're not going to be able to plant them anyway. And so these are like early spring stuff that comes up, so they need to be sown in the ground. So when that first bit of warmth starts to hit them in the spring, they'll be coming up. So I have a few different places that I want to plant stuff. Why irises and why so many? Because they're beautiful, A. B, they are very hardy. I have had irises every year since we've lived here, and I've always kept them alive. And B, the deer don't eat them. And so we have lots of deer, and everything I plant has to be deer resistant, or it will get eaten or fenced in, one of the two. So me and the kids, we're gonna get some little shovels and get some bulbs in the ground for the spring. Lenny is going ahead and brushing this guy. Did we name him?
Yeah, his name is Moose.
Moose. Okay, this is Moose. So we have
Bull.
Huh?
His name is Bull, actually.
Bull?
Yeah.
Okay. So Lenny is going ahead and brushing him. So he usually sits pretty still and pretty good for being brushed, but he's a lion head, so he needs to be, honestly, he really takes good care of himself, and his fur does not mat as bad as the Holland Lops that we have do. I'm not quite sure what makes the difference, but he usually stays pretty good on them. Xander likes to comb the giant, which I think is not a bad thing, even though he doesn't always need it because he does have fairly short hair. It just helps him get used to the boys a little bit more, and they do a good job with it too. Okay, so we've gone ahead and got some pretty deep holes there that we're just going to go ahead and stick these bulbs in. We're making sure that we stick the roots down, right? Can you show them the roots of the bulb?
I got it.
Oh, you don't have to pull that one back out. What about the ones in your hand? Yep, can you show them the roots of it? And their roots are going to go up or down?
Down.
Down, right? So the roots can go in the ground in the spring, right? Okay, and then Lenny's going to cover the hole back up, and we're going to move on to the next one. Good job, Lenny. Go ahead and cover it up. Okay, go ahead and move on to the next one. And Xander is over working on that side of the tree. So we're just going to, I'm putting irises. So this is like outside. In this little area, we have a fire pit here. We never put this in. It was just here when we moved in. So we have a fire pit here. And this kind of just goes around here. It's all mulched. We do keep it mulched. And I put these grasses here this year, and there's a butterfly shrub there, and some just, I don't know what kind of flowers those are. There's catmint there, and those are yuccas. And so I just want to put irises all around here, around the ends and around that end. And then I'm going to go and take it on this side of the sand mound around the top, very top of all this catmint. I'm going to do a big, huge row of irises there as well. 'Tis the season of leaf removal. So today, yesterday we did all the bulbs, and we got all the bulbs in the ground. So I ended up planting irises all along there, and so we'll see how they come up in the spring. But today we are removing leaves from around the yard and putting them into our garden. And when Ethan tills it, he will till it right into the ground. Leaves are really good for the nutrients of the garden. Of course, you have to counteract it with some other things as well, because leaves are really acidic. But anyway, excuse me. So I have the boys. I mowed the grass today, so I was able to get some nice rows of leaves, and the boys are working on raking them way out there. And so what we do is I actually burn a lot of leaves, but we use it for the chickens. So we'll use it for bedding for the chickens. They love digging around in there. I don't know about rabbits. It's our first year again with rabbits, so I'm not quite sure if we should give any leaves to the rabbits for bedding or not. But we have it on a big pile, and what they do is they put it on a tarp. They rake them onto the tarp, and then they drag the tarp over here, and they've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tarpfuls of leaves for me. I went around and was weeding in my raspberry bushes over there, so I was weeding there, and then I raked some leaves and pulled out some annuals in this little garden area there. So that is what I've been working on today. I wanted to take a couple minutes and just share with you the value of teaching your kids how to work. In this day, it's a good work ethic is hard to come by. And so for Ethan and I, that was one of our goals, was to always, instill in our kids that they need to have good work ethic. And so we, from the start, have really tried to encourage our kids to work, and have always showed them what kind of attitude you should have in working and that sort of thing. So, how's that tarp coming, guys? Practicing their balancing skills on their hands. Of course, it is very important, especially with boys and their age, to always encourage some play as well with the work. But my oldest has recently expressed how he does not like doing chores, and how he does not want to work, and all that he wants to do, go Lenny, go, good try. All he wants to do when he comes home is play. He doesn't want to have to do homework. He doesn't want to have to do any chores. And so we have had chores for the past year and a half or so for Xander, for sure. And so he has expressed these things. And so upon talking a discussion with Ethan, it was concerning to me because I didn't know how to handle it. And, we all have to have a little bit of grace on ourselves, especially when it comes to parenting. And I'm so thankful to, have a spouse who really, we agree on, usually we agree on a lot of things, and we were raised the same. And as far as parenting, we really haven't had too many differences when it comes to parenting. And so, he is just kind of, we just kind of encourage each other along the way and talk things out a lot, because being a parent is just a different role, and it's so hard. And so, anyway, I expressed my concerns to Ethan, with Xander, and just kind of said, he doesn't want to work, I don't know how to handle it because I don't get it. I'm a worker. I always have to be doing something. There's always something to do, and I usually don't stop until it's bedtime. And so, if I can do it, I do it. I'm not generally like a lazy person. I just work, and Ethan's the same way. We're always doing something, And so, I was really concerned about Xander, and so I brought it up to Ethan. I said, how do I handle this? Because I don't really know. And so he had told me that whenever he just remembers, like when he was 8 years old, his dad had him on the sawmill helping him out. And every summer, that's what he did. They didn't get a play. They did get a play. I'm not saying they did had a rough childhood, but work came first. Work came before play. And so it really just stuck with me that, you know what? It's okay that our kids are robbed a little bit from playtime if they're learning something. And so the value of teaching your kids a good work ethic and how to work, when to work, and our attitudes when we are working is so, so important. And again, I'm We are learning as we go. We are not perfect parents by any means, but we are trying for sure. And I'm going to start a fire, so I'm trying to grab some scrap paper to start a fire. And you know, it's hard because I never want to rob my children of play because, you know, you're only a kid once. But, you know, part of our job as being parents is that, yeah, our kids are only going to be little for so long. And then they're going to grow and they have to learn how to work and operate in this thing called life. And so it is so key and so vital to teach our kids a good work ethic and how to work and how our attitude should be when we work. So if our kids are complaining about working, they're going to be picking up some extra jobs until their attitude adjusts a little bit to that, because it shouldn't be a thing that we hate. It shouldn't be a thing that we dislike. So the opportunity to play and the opportunity to have fun and just, you know, live is a treasure and a joy and a gift. And so we don't want them to ever think that working is a tedious, hard thing, because you can enjoy work and live at the same time. All right, so how many more tarp loads do you guys think you have?
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4 more?
Maybe 3.
I don't know. You guys did well over half of these leaves. What do you think? Is it a good jumping pile then?
No.
Huh? No, it's not a good jumping pile. Huh? What's Maxie doing? Ah, Maxie's on his bike. Yeah, Max. With no shoes. Go, buddy, go. You guys are doing a real good job.
Yeah.
All right, we are down to the last tarp of leaves. So their daddy told them, I think it was yesterday or a few days ago, that they would get $1/4 a tarp. So we're going to go count how many tarps that they did, but I think they're at 8. So that'll also be $2 each. We do reward our kids for the work that they do, and we do cheer them on and show gratitude on the way. And so Lenny's our spunky child. If you see him running wildly, that's because Lenny's got a little extra spunk than the normal child. But they've got one more tarp to do, and we do reward them, and I'll show you the banking system that we use for them. Here in a little bit, I'll show you the banking system and how we teach our kids, well, what we teach our kids to do with their money. Okay, so here is the banking system that we use for the boys at this point. Roxanne's not quite there yet. Maybe in another year or so. Right now, her money's just all in one spot. But we got 3 of these banks, and they just kind of teach the kids in an understandable way what to do with their money. So one side says save, one side says spend, and one side says give. So this is an opportunity that we can have to teach the kids, you know, what the Bible teaches us about what to give and how much to give. And, you know, we can teach them to save their money. And then we also let them spend their money. So they do chores, like I had said, and they get to choose what they do with their money. First, we give. And so we put aside whatever our tithe would be for how much money we earned that week. And then I let them choose what they want to do with it. And so it's funny because each personality is a little bit different. And so their characteristics to lean towards spending or saving or give a little more is different for each of the boys, which is really cool to see. And learn, you know, like we get to learn that about them. Xander is my saver. So Xander's going to save his money. If he has a choice, he's going to save it. Lenny's my spender. And Max, he kind of flips both ways a little bit. It's definitely a little more save or spend, but one of those two ways. And then they'll surprise us every once in a while and say, I'm going to just give all of it. And I say, that's awesome, you know? So anyway, that's just a really good tool for us that has worked to teach our kids what to do with their money when they get it as well. So be sure to subscribe to our channel for more things home and life related, and life with just raising your kids and a side business. It's going to have both of those different aspects involved for sure. So hope you guys have a great week.